Why Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle didn't become Pope, 10 in-depth reasons. Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, the former Archbishop of Manila and now a key figure in the Vatican, has long been regarded as a Papal, a cardinal considered to have the qualities and potential to become Pope. With his deep spirituality, theological insight, and global appeal, Tagle captivated many in the Catholic Church and the media as a possible successor to Pope Benedict XVI in 2013 and possibly to Pope Francis in the future. Yet, despite his popularity and clear qualifications, he was not chosen. Below are 10 in-depth reasons that help explain why Cardinal Tagle did not become Pope, at least, not yet. 1. His youth and relative inexperience during the 2013 Conclave. At just 55 years old during the 2013 Conclave, Tagle was significantly younger than most of his fellow Papabili. While youth can be seen as a strength in terms of energy and vision, in the context of papal elections, it can be a liability. The College of Cardinals often leans toward candidates in their late 60s or early 70s, seeking leaders who can provide a bridge or transitional period rather than a long papacy. Tagle's youth at the time may have caused concerns about a potentially lengthy pontificate, which some cardinals might have wanted to avoid in the wake of the long papacy of John Paul II and the surprise resignation of Benedict XVI. 2. Limited Roman curial experience at the time. In 2013, Cardinal Tagle had not yet held a significant role within the Roman Curia, the central governing body of the Catholic Church. Many of his competitors had extensive experience navigating Vatican bureaucracy, which gave them an edge in terms of administrative know-how and established relationships within the Curia. Although Tagle had served on a few Vatican commissions and had academic ties through his theological work, he lacked the kind of hands-on leadership within the Vatican system that many cardinals considered crucial for a new pope. 3. Perceived as too progressive by conservative factions. Cardinal Tagle is admired for his emphasis on compassion, dialogue, and inclusion. He often speaks about the need for the Church to listen more, especially to the marginalized, youth, and victims of injustice. However, these qualities, while pastoral and Christ-like to many, were interpreted by some conservative cardinals as signs of a liberal agenda. While he has never contradicted church teachings, his tone and openness to dialogue on controversial issues made him appear too progressive for more traditional cardinals. This ideological gap likely reduced his support within certain voting blocs. 4. The Church's center of gravity is still European and Latin American. Though the Catholic Church is growing rapidly in Asia and Africa, the voting power in the College of Cardinals is still largely held by European and Latin American members. In 2013, Latin America in particular was overdue for papal representation. And this led to the election of Cardinal Jorge Mario Bergoglio of Argentina. Despite Tagle's global outlook and Asia's rising prominence, many cardinals may have felt it wasn't yet Asia's turn. His being from the Philippines, a country outside the traditional centers of ecclesiastical power, may have contributed to hesitancy among electors who preferred continuity with established church centers. 5. Soft-spoken nature versus need for strong governance. Cardinal Tagle's style is deeply pastoral and reflective. He is known for his moving homilies, gentle demeanor, and compassionate outreach to the poor. While these qualities are deeply admirable, some cardinals may have questioned whether he possessed the authoritative leadership style needed to tackle the complex, often fractious workings of the Vatican bureaucracy. The next pope, they believed, would need to confront issues like financial reform, sexual abuse scandals, and internal divisions. In such a climate, some may have preferred a more assertive and experienced leader. 6. Lack of global diplomatic exposure. Though respected globally and fluent in several languages, Cardinal Tagle at the time lacked significant international diplomatic experience. His ecclesiastical service had largely been in the Philippines, and while he was well regarded in theological circles, he had not been extensively engaged in the geopolitical diplomacy that is increasingly important for the modern papacy. By contrast, candidates like Bergoglio had experience interacting with political leaders and navigating church-state dynamics on a broader scale. 7. The rise of Pope Francis as a compelling alternative. Pope Francis, who was elected in 2013, embodied many of the same qualities attributed to Cardinal Tagle: humility, pastoral concern, attention to the poor, and global South representation. Once Bergoglio emerged as a front-runner, many cardinals who may have considered Tagle shifted their support to the Argentine cardinal, viewing him as a more seasoned and immediate embodiment of these values. In this sense, Francis may have been seen as the right man for the moment, overshadowing Tagle with his maturity and broader experience, even though both shared a similar vision for the Church. 8. Small electoral bloc from Asia. Voting in the conclave often follows informal regional alliances. With relatively few Asian cardinals in the college, Tagle lacked the regional base that European, Latin American, or African candidates could rely on. This limitation meant that he needed significant cross-regional support to become a serious contender, something difficult to achieve without strong existing networks or institutional power in the Vatican. 9. Seen as a leader of the future, not the present. Many church watchers and even some cardinals saw Cardinal Tagle as someone whose star was still rising. His intellect, charisma, and deep spiritual maturity pointed toward a long and impactful future in the Church, but perhaps not immediately as Pope. If you just coming across our video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. He was viewed as someone who could be shaped by further experience within the Curia or by taking on global responsibilities. Indeed, Pope Francis seemed to think so as well, appointing him prefect of the Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples in 2019, a role often referred to as the Red Pope due to its importance. 10. His gifts are still being cultivated for the Church's mission. While Tagle was not chosen in the last conclave, his appointment to high-level Vatican posts under Pope Francis indicates that his leadership is valued and nurtured. His current role in overseeing the Church's missionary outreach gives him global influence and places him at the heart of the Church's future direction. It is possible that these roles are preparing him for greater responsibilities down the line. Some believe his papal candidacy may resurface in the future, especially if the Church looks to Asia and to a pastoral figure who can lead with humility, joy, and theological depth. Conclusion: not a rejection, but a redirection. Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle remains one of the most influential voices in the global Church. His not being elected Pope was not a rejection of his potential, but rather a reflection of timing, context, and the complex dynamics of conclave politics. As the Church continues to evolve, especially in the global South, Tagle's name may well return to the conversation, not just as a possible pope, but as a model of servant leadership for the 21st century Church.